Do any of you have a favorite bug? I have a tattoo of my favorite bug, which happens to be the honeybee. According to my survey, 79 of the people in this class have never been, 79% of the people in this class have never been stung by a bee, have been stung by a bee. Surprisingly, I have never been stung by a bee. I used to play with bugs a lot as a child, and I'm sure your parents taught you to avoid bees just like mine did. I was afraid of bees until I learned how crucial they are to our existence. We wouldn't be able to survive without them. 93% of you said that you're interested in learning about bees, so I'd love to share the information that I learned through studying for this presentation. Today I'd like to explain to you how bees have impacted our environment, why bees are dying, and where we would be without bees. First, I'd like to explain what the primary purpose that bees serve. Much like butterflies and birds, bees are pollinators. In an article about bees on NRDC.com, they highlight the fact that bees contribute to the successful growth of 30% of the world's crops and help 90% of our wild plants to survive. According to an article called Why Would We Starve Without Bees on BBC.com, a third of our food is pollination dependent, and if bees haven't directly pollinated the fruits and vegetables we've eaten, they've pollinated the food that's fed to the animals we eat. Now that you know the purpose of bees, I'd like to shed some light on what is causing the decline of bees. I learned from Here's Why All Bees Are Dying on the website for Mother Jones magazine that the rate of bee deaths goes up by 30% each year. The loss of domesticated honeybee hives in the United States is at $2 billion each year. There isn't just one cause of honeybee deaths. According to an article from January 2018 from SierraClub.org titled, Why Are Honeybees Dying Off?, the issue is due to a combination of factors. These 5 factors include parasites, pathogens, pesticides, poor nutrition, and habitat loss. A large reason for the rapid rate of bee deaths is due to an insecticide called neonicotinoids. Other pesticides also contribute to the issue, as well as an invasive parasites and a decline in the quality of bees' diets. In an article titled, What We Know About How Neonicotinoids Affect Bees, that was published from ScienceDaily.com, states that over 400 studies have been done in order to get to the bottom of why neonicotinoids have affect bees, and all have had conflicting results. I learned from an article posted on Mocola.com in 2016 titled, Pesticides Are Creating Pollination Problems and Killing Bees, that most soybean, corn, canola, and sunflower seeds that are planted in the U.S. are coated with neonicotinoid pesticides. The chemicals travel through the plants and kill the insects that feed on their roots and leaves. If a plant is coated with neonicotinoids, the plant becomes toxic to insects. And what I find sad is that bees typically aren't the target pest to be killed by neonicotinoids. So the pesticide is strong enough to kill all pollinators. The process of the plant becoming toxic is that the pesticides go through the plant's vascular system as it grows, and as a result, the chemical leaks into the pollen and nectar of the plant. Neonicotinoids are only one type of pesticide that bees come in contact with. Other research published in the journal Nature Communications concluded that pollen collected next to cornfields is contaminated with up to 32 pesticides. The highest level of contamination in pollen came from pyrethroid insecticides, which are present in bug repellents and mosquitoes and other pests. A study released in 2016 by Friends of the Earth and Pesticides Research revealed that some bee-friendly plants sold at retailers like Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, and Walmart still contain neonicotinoid pesticides that affect bees. Thankfully, the level of chemicals found in garden store plants is decreasing. Plants containing neonicotinoids sold by major retailers went from 51% in 2014 to 23% in 2016. I'd like to discuss where exactly we would be without bees. We wouldn't have a majority of your favorite foods like pumpkin pie or apples, and without bees, humans and animals wouldn't have much to eat at all. According to an article posted by thedailymail.com, our amount of fruits or vegetables would decline greatly. Humans would be missing out on essential vitamins, and the animals we eat wouldn't have anything to eat for themselves. I learned from an article titled "Why Bee Extinction Would Be the End of Humanity" that humans as well as most animals would be extinct within a couple of years if bees were to die off completely. The only solution to not having bees would be for robotic bees to be invented. There's hope for this invention, as stated by an article titled "Rise of the Robot Bees, Tiny Drones Turned into Artificial Pollinators." The article concludes that a researcher at Japan's National Institute of Advanced Industrial Science and Technology has designed an insect-sized drone capable of artificial pollination. The drone is covered in horsehair bristles and can collect and transfer pollen from one plant to another.
Wow.
A big flaw with the concept of robotic bees is that there's so many species of bees that exist, and each have like a specific body type capable of like fitting into different plants and flowers. So we would need millions of these insects to exist, and they would all have to be controlled by a person individually. In conclusion, bees are essential to our survival, and we're slowly working towards a resolution to the bee crisis while rapidly losing bees. It's great that something exists on our Earth to sustain our existence, but it can be frightening to think about what would happen if bees continue to die at the rate that they are. I hope for those of you who are afraid of bees or have a little education on them that you now know how essential they are.